cooking over that wall. Oh, that doo-doo, man.
Their daughter, oh, she just has to learn. They don't usually say that.
Can I call you Law?
Laos. You just say Laos.
Okay,
Laos. Yeah,
Laos. When men get coaching based off of how they can become better versions of themselves and become more successful. When women get coaching, they get coaching on how they can get a man.
That sounds pretty accurate right there. Majority of women find out how to get a person, not about how to fix themselves. Talk to Crimson Cure. She'll show you how to fix yourself.
Exactly.
I do have
what you keep leaving out of the comment.
When women get coaching, they get coaching on how they can get a man.
But this conversation leaving out a big
better for women.
Oh my God.
What?
There
we
are
keep leaving
incredible
out
women.
a big
There are.
element here. So God tells us to do things in a certain way, right? There's a system for everything, whether you believe or you don't. And the problem here is we keep having a circular conversation, and you know why there's no resolution to this conversation? Because both parties are wrong. Both parties are wrong. It is true. Both parties are wrong.
It's not true.
What am I wrong about?
Hold on, I'm gonna explain it. So we have a conversation about a single mother and how she's destroyed this child, right? Because of her single motherhood. And then we completely leave out the fact that there is a father and he's somewhere. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that because you've had children outside of wedlock, and now you are scrambling to figure out how to make it work and how to put it in order, right? And so we keep having a conversation trying to figure out who is to blame. Both parties are to blame. Both parties. It's a conversation that is pointless.
You didn't prove anything. All you just said was both parties are to blame.
Sure.
And you're wrong.
What do you mean I didn't prove anything? Most
men, specifically black men, do not have children out of wedlock. Most women, overwhelming, it is true. It's a statistic.
It's not true.
It is. Most men do not have children.
I believe 68% of men have children.
Was you listening? Was you listening right there? He literally just said most men have children in wedlock. Most of them have them while being married. When you say 68% of men have kids, that did not change what he just said. Now, I don't know if you're listening. You're not listening very well, so your age is showing. But you got to listen to all his words, my dear. I'm not finna take shots at you because you ain't did anything.
Most men don't have children out of wedlock. I don't know if you heard that last part.
So you're telling me that majority of men are married?
This nigga.
Majority of men with children are married.
Children in wedlock.
Majority
of men that the majority.
I'll have to see the statistic because it's not true.
Look it up. You'll go and find it and then make sure you come back and tell me that I'm right.
Okay, I will.
The majority of women, specifically black women, have children out of wedlock by a small minority of the men.
That's true.
16% of men have children out of wedlock.
I do have a question because Anton, you said that
how many percent of women? How many percent of
you
women?
can answer me the question, but I want you to sit on that for a minute and then you come back and tell me how we both wrong again.
Can you
most men are not having.
My dear, are you telling me right now when the other guy who is not biased, like he's not Anton, so he's not trying to win this argument you're having. Are you telling me when he tells you, because he just looked it up on his computer, what the stats say, you're telling me you're not going to stop and say, oh, my bad, I didn't know. If you don't do that, and especially now what he just said, if you don't come back and say that you were wrong, you cannot be the person supposed to be holding women accountable. She can't do it. There's no way you're going to let her be the one to do it. If that's what just happened, because that guy just told you the stats. If you don't do it, you can't be that person. You ain't that guy, pal.
Most men that have children have it within wedlock. Yep. Most women that are having children are having them by a minority of the same men out of wedlock.
They're all raised by single parents.
Spooky and raised. That's what you're talking about.
So who's the problem?
Wait, what's the percentage for women, Victor?
Don't worry about that right now.
One time a year. So
you're saying women are the problem.
It's somewhere between 75 and 80% of women have their children out of wedlock.
But a man can impregnate several women. Like he can impregnate 100 women within a year. A woman can only be pregnant one time.
Well, correct. So,
yeah.
no. You just proved my point. if the onus is on you, on who you have children with, if I went and I saw for 99.9% of all men and 0.1% of men impregnated 90% of the women, then who do we solve for the problem? That's why we say women control access to sex, men control access to marriage. That's literally why we say it.
This is why men used to be castrated.
I do not want to attack you on here. Do me this favor, Izzy. Shut the hell up. That was stupid what you just said. Men need to be castrated because these heifers keep opening their legs. That's what you just said? You see why she got that straight hair in her head. She don't know who the hell she is. That was dumb. That was so idiotic for you to say out loud.
But
So,
Are
like,
you not paying attention, listening?
but Anton, you saying
Are y'all not listening to what's going on here?
but can I
I'm
say
hearing you.
They're
but
not.
Anton, you saying that man, you said both of them are not, and Ty said both parties are to blame.
Okay, so it says between the ages of 20 and 24, 70% of births are to unmarried fathers. Ages 25 to 29, about 50%, and then it increases after 30. So what I'm
Unmarried
saying,
fathers. It could be the
unmarried
same
fathers,
guys.
that's what I'm talking about. That's
It
what I'm
could be
talking
the same guys
And
that
that's
are
still a male
unmarried and are
problem.
having multiple children by multiple women.
And that's still a male problem as well with females.
and they're all and no.
She's gonna try to force this. She's about to try to force this right now. Miss, you're not accountable. She is not an accountable person. She's not gonna stop. You was wrong. Stop talking. Where's your husband at? Ain't he supposed to tell y'all the computer again? Somebody need to help her out. You know what? Let me listen to her again. Maybe I'm jumping out the window. Okay? Maybe that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so it says between the ages of 20 and 24, 70% of births are to unmarried fathers. Ages 25 to 29, about 50%, and then it increases after 30. So what
Unmarried.
I don't think what you said meant anything, actually. Now that I just re-listened to it, you just pretty much restated the same thing again by saying these ages to this age have this percentage of kids. That's not what I just heard, right? Do it one more time.
Okay, so it says between the ages of 20 and 24, 70% of births are to unmarried fathers. Ages 25 to 29, about 50%, and then it increases.
So I was right. I had to listen to it again. She just said between these ages, this amount of kids are by unmarried fathers. That did not prove anything she just said. He's still correct. She's just trying to force this thing to make sense right now. That's what she's doing. Femininity coach or whatever you are, retire. You need to retire because you ain't finna help women. She's not helping.
So what
Unmarried
I'm saying,
fathers. It could be the
unmarried
same
fathers,
guys.
that's what I'm talking about. That's
It
what I'm
could be
talking
the same guys.
And
that
that's
are
still a male
unmarried and are
problem.
having multiple children.
That's
by
not what the
multiple
conversation
women.
is.
And that's still a male problem as well.
That's not a male problem. That's not a male problem. If the same guys getting into women's baby makers, that's not a male problem. Their problem. The same guy? You don't believe in accountability. She doesn't believe in accountability. Okay, there you go.
Well, with females.
And they're all and those men that have children out of wedlock. Do you think they come from 2-parent homes or single-parent
Jesus
homes
Christ.
mostly?
This is
Oh my
crazy.
God.
Whatever home
She don't care.
They are breaking up the
Honestly,
family.
I don't
Whatever
even think that this matters. Going back to
It
Trump,
does. It has
going
to
back
matter.
to Trump, going back to Trump and the point.
Can you shut the f up?
Thank you, Island Girl Q. Whoever Jerry is, she needs to stop speaking. I don't see what this guy do anything. Even if they don't have anything to do with it, we need to see some accountability happening right now. She was wrong. She won't just say, my bad. She even went and looked up some stats that did not prove her point at all. Didn't prove it at all.
Say something.
Going back to Trump and
Hold
how
on,
he-
Jerry. Hold on.
Okay.
It's not a question I want to ask. It's something Ty said, right? I think both parties are to blame.
Oh, come on!
Right? Because y'all keep saying, granted, one parent household is to blame, but at what age is it not to blame?
Thank you.
Can men still use that excuse at
What?
the age of 40? Can
No.
men use that?
Y'all aren't listening. Island Girl Q, listen. There is 5 guys doing this, and you're blaming the whole 80. 5 guys, and you're blaming 80 for those 5 guys. We're not saying this all women, but it's majority of the women. Majority of them are doing this. Minority of guys. How do you blame the guys then? Am I like in the Twilight Zone right now? What's happening?
At the age of 35. I'm just saying, like, at what age do the men stop saying, well, I was raised by a single mother?
If the majority of men are not the problem, and the majority of the women are perpetuating and carrying forward the problem, if you solve for an issue, who do you solve for it with?
To the majority.
You always target where the majority of the problem is. You listen, the only time I hear women say that both are wrong is when women are the ones that are majority the problem. They never say, you know what, ladies, let's get it together. I don't know why we keep having children out of wedlock. We need to hold each other accountable.
I'm gonna tell you, they say
when I talk to my wife and I say, listen, let me go ahead and give you some insight on how you can do things differently. She always said, well, what about when you? Well, if you had a problem with me, then you should have addressed it prior to me actually addressing you. Right now, it's you. And I don't know when this became a team effort. Every single time that we point out some inconsistency or some problem with women that is doing it wrong. Why is it a us thing when we hold men accountable, it's a men thing. When we hold y'all accountable, it's a us thing.
Because do you want to be leaders? Or do you said you don't.
The leader thing now? You about to do the leader thing? You know what leaders do when you don't listen? They kick you the hell out. You get kicked out by a leader if you don't listen. First off, let's get one thing straight. I'm jumping out the window. Wow. When heifers do this thing right here, what she's about to do, which is like, instead of taking accountability, she's going to say, oh, ain't you trying to be a leader? You want to know exactly what that means? Yes. You know what? Yes. This is men's problem. You know why this is men's problem? They should have left y'all to drown a long time ago. They should have left y'all to defend for yourself a long time ago. Yes, this is men's fault because we should have knew that people like you are dumb. And guess what happens with dumb people? You let them fend for themselves. Completely out the window. I don't care. That's dumb. All of them are retarded. I had to calm down.
You don't want to be partners. You said you don't want partnership. And so how can you hold women to the same accountability and capacity to men?
You fire them.
Accountability is not a gender thing though.
It's not. I'm saying it's not. What I'm saying is he's stating that women and men are completely different, right? Men have a certain type of authority that women don't, right? In society, we're talking about women and men's accountability being different. And so why do we keep putting them parallel to one another as if they're the same thing? They're not the same thing.
Who said that we ever was parallel? We was
no one. You're sitting here saying
she's saying that you're holding them to parallel lens. She's saying men and women are being treated equal when you try to hold women accountable. She believes women are supposed to be treated like babies. That's who you don't hold accountable, a baby. Let that sizzle in your spirit. She was saying women should be treated like babies. And guess what babies don't have? Rights. They only have human rights. Civil? Not at all. Babies start speaking, you don't want to speak no more. Stop talking, go in the house. They got to. This is what you're saying? Think about it real hard. Her age is showing right now.
That
Her age is 100% showing for her to be saying what she's saying. I know where this is going to go, and I'm willing to go that route, but I know nobody else do.
I never made that argument.
Both parties are not responsible, but both parties are participating. I don't get how we can only singularly focus on one party's participation.
I clearly gave you the reason why we had to focus on one party.
75-16.
Majority, but it's still two parties.
If a group of women is getting pregnant by a minority of the men, then maybe we should focus on the people that is the most egregious. I'm not going to focus.
Maybe we should have better leaders. Maybe we should have better leaders.
No, but there's something.
So basically, in conclusion, women avoid accountability like the plague. We never should have had the conversation of 100 men versus a gorilla. We should have had it at 100 women versus.
They don't care. They don't care that he keeps saying there is 3 guys blowing up this whole apartment complex of women. These 3 guys is blowing up this whole apartment complex, but all the other guys who are partaking in the vajayjay, you're blaming them too. That's who we're blaming. Fentanyl. That's fentanyl.
That's the problem.
100 women versus accountability, you won't find it.
You won't.
It's impossible. We will never get women.
Men have
100 men
friend
versus
has
spinning in their pants.
And
How
to
about
go
that? We
on
will
and
never
on
find
about
that
something
either.
that's
I don't
not
know why y'all don't
changing is
realize that.
illogical. Because
Y'all
if you have
listen.
the authority that you say you have, if you have the authority, or if you're wanting the authority that you say you want, you wouldn't be looking to the other
I don't
party
have
to
to
give it
want
to
authority.
you.
I am authority.
You
I
couldn't be
bring
because you're
authority.
looking at women saying,
Let
look
me-
at what you've done.
I'm
So
able
this-
to have this conversation because I am king. Like I am authority.
You're king,
There is
but then we're
nobody-
talking
there is
about
nobody-
we're
there is
talking
nobody
about
that you know.
the leader,
There is
the
nobody
responsibility
that
to
you
the
know
followers.
that has the track record that I have of consistency when it comes to making right decisions. I am the
We're not talking
personification.
about you.
I am the
specifically.
person. No. I am.
We ain't even gotta do any of this thing that's happening right now. Anton, I don't know why this conversation is still going. She's clearly not gonna accept accountability. That's what's happening. She's running so far away from it that she is saying that you're a bad leader by looking at your privates and saying, you guys are F-ups. That's what she's saying. So if I was a coach, I can't tell my players that they if I'm a coach, I can't do that. Your players is only bad because you're a bad coach. Oh, really? That's your logic. My players are only bad because I'm a bad coach. I can't have a bunch of untalented on the team. Know what you're saying? It's so crazy. Their logic is so flawed. That's why she has that 1950s swirl haircut thing happening right now. She looks like she's supposed to be wearing a plaited dress right now. But guess what? Those women understood not to be doing what you're doing. When they say something and then they're wrong, guess what they do? They walk out the room. They probably say, I'm sorry, everybody. I gotta go do womanly like things. And they walk out the room. But not you. I'm not even old and my pressure is high listening to heifers like this. Jesus Christ.
I'm the personification
I thought we
of
don't
what a
do
strong,
personal
good man is supposed to be. So let's be
I don't
clear.
know
I'm
that
speaking.
for
I'm
sure.
speaking
Any man
out-
can say that,
I'm
even
speaking
people
out of
that do
privilege. I'm not
drugs.
speaking based off of
They will
duress.
too.
I don't speak from a duress perspective. I'm
But
speaking.
that's just your perspective,
I'm
Anton.
speaking from authority. So what I'm saying is that, and this is what y'all have to realize. For whatever reason, y'all keep talking to me as though y'all not losing. Women and men
That's true.
are losing. You guys are losers. You're worse off than ever before. Maybe not on an individual level, but collectively, you guys are losers. You are last place on the totem pole. The last, you know what we don't listen to?
What are you talking about?
He just said collectively black women. Are you not listening? Is the perm, is that crack cream getting too deep in your head? See, I didn't want to say that. The two people who are arguing right now, crack cream. If you want to know what crack cream is, like I said, it's a perm. Crack cream.
And
Respectfully.
men, as a group, women, specifically black women, is last place. So what I'm saying is, why would we listen to losers?
I don't know who you're talking about.
I just described.
So, Ty,
So
You literally
I don't
did.
know. I don't know
Why are
why.
women,
I
why
think that
are
women-
women in mass trying to tell us what we're supposed to do as men when y'all are last place of any group?
Well, because y'all are opening the
But you were just
conversation.
complaining
Y'all are
about how
opening the
single mothers are raising
conversation.
Crash
feminine
out.
men
Simple
and how
question.
these feminine men are causing
Hold on.
problems
I
to
thought-
society
I
with
thought-
everything that they
I
voted
thought that the
for. Like, that's
dialogue
how
is
this
between men and
conversation
women.
here.
yeah, I've got a simple
Isn't the
question.
dialogue
I
between
think
men
that
and
women-
No. Listen, this is a dialogue,
Oh my
but it's
gosh,
still a
that was-
question.
No, not
The
between
same,
me and
the
you. I'm
same way
saying
that y'all ask us questions with regard to how it is that we complain about certain things. I'm posing a question to y'all now.
Well,
Why
Anton, but I'm saying-
why do women? Why you didn't even hear the question yet? Why
No, I
do
was
women
responding to
feel
your
as though
last
they have authority to speak on an issue that they can't solve for within their own communities?
And that's the reason why Trump is in office.
It could
That's
give
all
an
I want to
idea.
say. Because to get back to the topic and the riots, if Kamala was in office, she wouldn't have even deployed the National Guard. Period.
Trump
Why,
is in
Trump
why
doesn't
should
have
we?
to
Why,
prove
usually,
his
when you
authority, he's a
select a
man.
group of people to
Policy.
follow, you select them. You select a group of people to follow based off of their success or their track record. Why should we follow y'all to the polls? Why should we follow y'all advice when y'all keep telling us to go and get a
But
bunch
the
of
men
dead
follow the
women?
women to the polls, though.
Why should we follow y'all advice?
That's the
Why
point
should
I'm
men?
making.
Why should your sons? That's a better question. Why should your sons take your advice on how to vet for a woman? And instead, why shouldn't he just do the opposite and be rebellious and go the complete different direction if the majority of y'all are unable to select the man that y'all can keep and that you can keep your family together?
Our
Why
sons-
should
our
anybody
sons-
listen?
Well,
our sons should seek advice on vetting a woman from their father, and our daughters should seek advice from the mothers. And the problem that we're having,
From the
hold on,
fathers.
one second. Can I finish? And the problem that we're having is men continually having conversations with women and not getting anywhere, and then vice versa. Women trying to have conversation on how men should be men. These conversations are not going anywhere, is what I'm saying.
Oh, they're going plenty of places.
No, they're
continuing
on and on for content, but they're not. There's no solution.
Waking up.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. What's your name? Tashay? I ain't gonna never get your name right, my dear. Seeing videos like this, men seeing these things, no, it's definitely changing. It's definitely changing. You don't just meet that many Derek Jacksons anymore. That thing is it's starting to go away. I'm just saying. Think about it.
Solution.
The only reason that women are complaining, is because men no longer give what they think.
Oh, men care.
No, they do.
No, they don't.
They're talking more than they ever have talked.
There's a segment of men that pander because they know that y'all gonna give them money.
That's true.
No, there's a red pill community in general. For
whatever reason, you don't understand
the problem
part
with
of the game,
relationships
baby.
at this point.
Red pill is part of the problem. Do you know what a red pill is? You don't know what a red pill is, do you? I'm getting sick and tired of everybody doing this thing. Like, it's almost handicapped when I hear it. Red pill is just facts. All these other people you be hearing that they just prescribe as red pill, they're not red pill. If you're saying anything that's a lie or is not proven, it's not red pill. That's a person talking. Red pill is just facts. When a person starts throwing stats at you, that's red pill. You about to get hit with a bunch of stats. When he hit your with the 70% or 75% to 16%, that was red pill. Have nobody watched The Matrix? The Matrix was just facts. He said, this is the red pill. You're going to see what the real world is. That's red pill. So this other stuff that everybody keeps saying is red pill is not red pill. That's just a person talking. Red pill is facts. And she already got a problem with facts. So she wants everybody to stay away and take the blue pill. She's looking for Derek Jackson. Yeah, I said it. Derek Jackson.
Only reason that we didn't Derek Jackson is because Derek Jackson he dirty Mac. He hated on other men in order to continue to get y'all attention. But there's a whole lot of Derek Jacksons. The men that agree with y'all are just like him. They doing it for the box. They doing it for the money. They doing it for the visibility. They don't all either.
True.
They don't all either. They don't all either.
He's right.
Men have adjusted. Men have adapted. And so now they being more successful. And eventually it's going to get to the point where y'all going to have to share.
So Ty, so
every time you talk about it's just sex.
So one second.
Blame women for not exercising their ability to take birth control or to utilize contraceptives or to be better choosers about who they date or who they sleep with, and even go as so far as to blame them for not getting abortions and things like that. I see it as being taken advantage of the fact that women can do a lot more to prevent something when the whole prevention thing that we are talking about lies within the men.
I see men shrinking. I see men shrinking to their calling. I think that the men of yesteryear were able to understand what it was, and they were able to take it on the chin and move forward. Just one second.
Sorry,
and then
I
think that now, when men are called to be in difficult positions, instead of saying, "Okay, this is where I'm at," we see what we see. The constant conversation.
Men of yesteryear was able to slap y'all up out of y'all head and call y'all their property. That's the difference.
Thank you.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. I don't know if y'all familiar with y'all history. Y'all just really been able to vote.
Can the problem be solved?
Y'all just able to been.
He just said it. He's right. That was the thing. That was the line in the sand. That guys used to do that. But no, they're forgetting that that's gone. That's how crazy they are. They forgot that was a thing.
Question. That's
That
actually,
wasn't for order, Anton. That was for abuse. That was just abuse of
It
authority.
wasn't
we
abuse.
can't
It was
acknowledge
you
stuff
was
like
the
that, David, because he's just
property
trying
of
to
a man.
trigger you. There's no
No,
reason for
I'm
that.
not. It's the truth.
I get what you're saying.
They were able to slap you upside your head.
Abuse is what got
Now
rid
they're
of
triggered.
Is
the
this
order.
woman not familiar with her? You might be too young, and I'm not sure if you really understand.
No, I'm not too young. I'm saying it doesn't
Women were
contribute
the
to the
property
Your
of
age is
their
showing.
husbands,
Okay.
and they were property. That's why they couldn't vote. That's why they couldn't do anything without the authority of their husbands.
Which
If you
was
called
wrong.
the police and the police pulled up and he's saying that you was being belligerent with your husband, he just drove away. He was like, "Oh, that's you got to handle that."
It's a
Y'all
civil.
didn't have no rights. You keep talking about men of yesteryear. You wouldn't survive with the men
I
of
spoke
yesteryear.
about that
'Cause
one time.
You wouldn't even be talking to me right now with the men of yesteryear because women were separated from being able to communicate with men of authority.
We got to get a super chats.
No. Let's be clear. I don't know if y'all know the type of men that y'all reverence. Those are the type of men that y'all say that y'all don't want to be around
True.
because they would slap if you
Conversation.
talk too much. I'm telling you the truth. That's not me being triggering. That's not me trying to get a
I'm
moment.
saying, Anton, there are
That
two
is
different
honest to God
conversations.
truth.
One conversation is about the dynamic between the men and how they treated the women, and the other is about the call to command and authority for the man and how he functions in that household. They're two separate conversations.
Okay. you
Oh my
got it.
God.
And look, here's the last thing I'll
Oh no, I can't do this no more. Big screen. That was wild. This conversation was so stupid. You're telling me that they all believe that it is a man and a woman problem when 10 guys is blowing up 100 women. Like 100 women get blown up by 10 guys, but you're gonna blame those 90 guys. The 90 guys plus those 10. That's what you're doing. That is actual crack. And you wanna know something? It makes me so upset that all the ones who was comfortable talking, not you, Jerry. You was just trying to get to the other conversation, but you understand, Jerry, I was already triggered. So I was already triggered. That's what happened. But yeah, the other ones, crack cream. It was wild. It was so wild. Island Girl Q, I got too much respect for you. When you tried to say that it was men and women fault too, I was like, baby girl. But anywho, boy, the amount of times that my screen went black and you've been hearing me kick over stuff in this room, devastating. Taisha, Carson, whatever, the Carson show, I'm letting y'all know right now, she needs Jesus. Izzy needs to shut the hell up. That's what she needs to do as well. I'm sorry. I'm so upset right now. I need some sweet tea.
Oh, you ain't know what that was? Oh, that's doo-doo, baby.